Hi besties, welcome back to the channel. As you know, there are moments in a reality show when the drama goes beyond entertainment and becomes a raw glimpse into the truth of a family in crisis. For years, Sister Wives has given viewers a front row seat to the unraveling of Kody Brown's plural marriage. But this time the tension is heavier, the stakes higher, and the emotions so real that even longtime fans were left stunned. It was not just about conflict between wives or questions about family unity anymore. It was about Kody himself revealing something shocking to the one wife still standing beside him. He admitted he was considering the idea of another wife, but not just any wife. He confessed that what mattered most to him at this point in his life was whether she would be young and physically attractive. The scene was tense from the very beginning. Robyn sat across from him, already sensing the heaviness in the air. She has always been the wife who defended him, the one who stood by his side when the other women walked away, the partner who believed she was brought into this family for a spiritual purpose. And yet, in that quiet living room moment, all of that loyalty was tested in a way she never imagined. Kody's words were blunt. He did not try to soften them. He said that if he were to bring in another wife, it would only be because she was good-looking, because she brought back a spark he felt he had lost. He admitted openly that attraction would be the deciding factor. For viewers, the shock was immediate. This was not the Kody who used to preach about family unity, about building a kingdom of love and faith. This was not the man who once convinced 4 women to believe in his vision of plural marriage. This was a man revealing raw desire, speaking with the honesty of someone who no longer cared about the image of a spiritual leader. Robyn's face told the whole story. She was blindsided, hurt, and visibly shaken. For her, this was not just about Kody's attraction. This was about everything they had built together being reduced to something shallow. She responded with a mix of anger and heartbreak, telling him that what he was saying was the worst possible reason to marry anyone. And she was right. Marriage, especially plural marriage, was never supposed to be about vanity or appearances. It was supposed to be about faith, family, and unity. But Kody sat there, unapologetic, insisting that this was the truth of where he stood. What made the moment even more powerful was how it reflected the journey of the entire Brown family. Christine had already walked away, refusing to live in a marriage where she felt unloved and unseen. Janelle followed her path, realizing she could not continue in a relationship that had lost its foundation. Even Meri, who had endured years of rejection, finally accepted that Kody no longer wanted her. Through all of that, Robyn remained. She carried the weight of being the last wife, the one who still believed in the dream. But this conversation changed everything. For the first time, Robyn was forced to confront the idea that maybe Kody's devotion to her was not as unshakable as she thought. Fans reacted immediately. Social media exploded with outrage. People called Kody selfish, shallow, and even cruel for speaking so openly about valuing a wife for her looks. Many pointed out that Robyn had sacrificed so much to be with him, only to be met with a husband talking about finding someone younger and prettier. Viewers described the moment as one of the most heartbreaking scenes in the history of the show. It was not just drama for television, it was the painful unraveling of a relationship in real time. The emotional weight of this scene cannot be overstated. Imagine standing by someone through the storm, defending them against criticism, protecting their reputation, and believing that your bond was special, only to hear them casually suggest they might throw it away for something superficial. That is what Robyn faced. And in her eyes, viewers saw not just anger but deep sadness. She called him a pig, and while the words were sharp, they came from a place of devastation. She felt betrayed, humiliated, and reduced to nothing more than a placeholder in a marriage that once promised something sacred. The irony of Kody's admission is striking. For years, he insisted that plural marriage was a spiritual calling, a divine path. He spoke about the importance of building a family that could stand as an example of faith and commitment. He wanted to show the world that plural marriage was about love, not lust. But now, with 3 wives gone and one clinging desperately to the hope of a family, he stripped away the mask and revealed something shockingly shallow. The man who once claimed to be guided by God was now talking about being guided by attraction, about choosing based on looks rather than values. Part 1 of this story sets the stage for something bigger. It is not just about Kody and Robyn. It is about the future of Sister Wives as a whole. Because if Kody truly pursues this desire, if he seriously looks for a younger wife, then the entire dynamic of the show will shift again. It will no longer be about holding a family together. It will become a story about a man chasing something he lost, a man struggling with age, pride, and control. And it will leave Robyn with a choice she never thought she would have to make. For viewers, this is where the questions begin. Will Robyn stay if Kody brings in another wife? Will she fight for him, or will she finally see the reality of the situation and walk away? And for Kody, is this about truly wanting companionship? Or is it about trying to reclaim a sense of power after losing 3 marriages? These questions will shape everything that comes next. And that is where we leave part 1. A family already fractured now faces an even darker turn. A husband who once claimed to be devoted to his wives now openly admits he values appearance above all else. And a wife who has given everything is left questioning whether her loyalty was worth it. Kody Brown's shocking admission that his priority in a new marriage would be physical attraction was more than just a careless statement. It was a dagger to the very core of what remained of his family. And for Robyn, it was a moment of truth she could not ignore. For over a decade, Robyn has stood by Kody through storms that broke every other relationship he had. She defended him when Christine said she was neglected. She comforted him when Janelle pulled away. She stayed loyal when Meri admitted that she had no real place left in his life. Through it all, Robyn believed that her connection to Kody was different, that she was the wife who had his heart. But with a few blunt words, Kody shattered that illusion. Robyn's immediate response revealed her heartbreak. She called him a pig, and those words carried more than anger. They carried the pain of realizing that her loyalty may never have been enough. She had sacrificed friendships, endured endless criticism from fans, and even became the target of blame for the collapse of the family. Yet despite all of this, she believed she and Kody shared something sacred. Hearing him admit that he might choose another wife solely for her youth and beauty stripped away that belief. It reduced their marriage to something shallow, something transactional, and it left Robyn questioning whether her role in Kody's life was as secure as she once thought. For viewers, the reaction was immediate and explosive. Social media lit up with outrage. Fans who had long criticized Kody saw this as the final proof of his selfishness. They remembered the years of sermons about loyalty and faith, about building a family that would stand as an example to the world. And now, the same man who claimed his marriages were built on spiritual principles was admitting he would bring in another wife just for her looks. It was the ultimate contradiction, the clearest sign yet that Kody's vision of plural marriage had collapsed into something hollow. What made the moment even more powerful was how it echoed the experiences of the other wives. Christine left because she felt unloved and unseen, and Kody's words to Robyn proved her instincts were right. Janelle walked away because she wanted independence from a man who no longer respected her, and here he was showing exactly the kind of shallow thinking she no longer wanted in her life. Meri endured years of rejection, clinging to hope that never came, and Robyn now found herself in the same place, loyal, but faced with the cold reality that her husband's priorities had shifted toward vanity. The irony was not lost on fans. For years, many viewers accused Robyn of being Kody's favorite, the one who benefited from his attention while the other wives were pushed aside. But in this moment, the favoritism did not protect her. If anything, it exposed her. She had built her entire life around the belief that she was chosen, that her marriage was strong, and that she was different. But now she was hearing, directly from Kody, that even she could be replaced if someone younger and more attractive appeared. That realization broke her confidence, and for perhaps the first time in the series, audiences saw Robyn truly vulnerable. The fallout from this confession is not just about one marriage, it is about the legacy of sister wives as a whole. What began as a story about love, faith, and unity has slowly unraveled into one about betrayal, favoritism, and selfishness. Kody's words have forced fans to confront the uncomfortable truth that the man who once claimed to be a spiritual leader is now openly admitting that his choices are driven by vanity. The dream he preached for years, a family built on higher principles, has been reduced to the shallow pursuit of attraction. And now the biggest question is about Robyn's future. Will she stay, knowing that her loyalty does not guarantee security? Will she continue to defend Kody even after he humiliated her with such a careless confession? Or will she, like Christine, Janelle, and Meri, finally recognize that her worth cannot be defined by a man who sees marriage as an opportunity for ego rather than love? These questions linger, and they set the stage for a new and uncertain chapter in the Brown family saga. One thing is certain. This moment changed everything. It peeled back the last layer of illusion and exposed the raw truth of Kody Brown's priorities. It left Robyn shaken, fans outraged, and the family's legacy permanently scarred. And that brings us to the end of this explosive revelation. What do you think of Kody's confession? Has he finally crossed the line for good? Or will Robyn continue to stand by his side despite the heartbreak? Share your thoughts, because the story of the Browns is far from over, and the fallout of this moment will shape their future forever.